and I'm trying my best to make it. Come on, Becco, get over there. Get on in there. Get in there.
It may take a bit.
First time.
To catch a break.
First time.
A few tries.
Oh.
To move forward.
He's going to get the 6th ball for you.
But Tom Bauer knows persistence.
So I was pulling my hair out.
It took him months to find affordable housing.
About 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
Multiple wait lists.
And sometimes they would say, well, you got about 30 people ahead of you, so hang in there and we'll call you.
But some affordable housing websites paint a different picture. Dozens of units available for low-income families. And we wanted to know why. Affordable housing uses a federal government standard based on an area's median family income. In the Austin Round Rock area, it's $110,300 for a household of 4. Half of that amount is considered very low income. A household of 4 making 30% of it, or $33,100, is considered extremely low income. We went to Tom's landlord, Foundation Communities. The charity owns rental complexes with on-site services like education classes and health care.
The kinds of services that help families on a tight budget.
Walter Moreau is the executive director. The charity has 7,000 residents.
The need is still so much greater. It's, we're only maybe 10% of the need. We could build 70,000 units.
Foundation Communities has 7 properties for folks like Tom, dedicated to single adults. Each of those properties carry a wait list.
We're going to get ready to lease our Loretta apartments, and we already have 2,000 people that have, logged in online to create an account.
Just for that one?
For 135 apartments.
Walter became executive director more than 20 years ago. He saw Austin become the city it is now.
Because in the 80s, Austin was still cheap. You could go to school part-time and you could be a musician, and I really think it led to our culture of weirdness. We were cheap and we were weird. And I don't know, I hope we're still weird, but we're not cheap anymore.
We asked him how they could have a wait list when other area listings show vacant affordable units. It turns out affordable housing is tied to more than a person's income.
Every one of our communities was developed with different funding.
Affordable housing programs for developers backed by government incentives come with rules and regulations. Depending on the incentive, a low-income tenant who would qualify for one complex may not qualify for another.
There's HUD guidelines, tax credit rules, city requirements, state laws, fair housing, and all those things make our leasing of an affordable apartment a little more complicated.
That's a lot of hoops to have to jump through, especially if you're.
Those are just the ones I could think of off the top of my head. So.
It's a matching game. If a household needed 2 bedrooms, they must find a place within income limits, have enough rooms, and qualify. Some rentals have special restrictions, and without that tenant, the unit may sit empty. So what looks like a mass of vacancies are chipped away, tagged with rules and regulations meant to protect and help.
We're one piece of the housing ecosystem.
Mike Gerber is president and CEO of the Housing Authority of the City of Austin. The agency administers the federal housing and urban development programs. Austin's Housing Authority has 18 public and subsidized housing properties throughout the city. It's more than 1,800 apartments, and residents pay about 30% of their household income as rent.
Still a tremendous supply gap because there's so many people who've come to Austin.
He says there's not enough federal money to build enough public housing here. Plus, by law, Austin's Housing Authority cannot build additional HUD-backed public housing. No net increase allowed since October 1st, 1999. So to help people find a unit that fits their needs, groups like the Housing Authority and Foundation Communities invest in their own properties, using a mix of public and private dollars.
We need to dramatically increase the supply of affordable housing here in our city.
The Housing Authority owns a subsidiary corporation called Austin Affordable Housing Corporation.
All of them are affordable. Some have different affordability levels, and over time, as the market has moved away, we've held rents steady.
The Austin Affordable Housing Corporation used federal, state, and local money to develop nearly 60 properties over the last decade. The corporation owns 35 of them. A partnership with private developers and foundations own the rest.
The motto we have is, again, trying to find all types of housing for all types of people in all parts of our city. It's part of a broader system where we try to lift everybody up.
We asked Mike about the affordable housing vacancies we found. He said not only are there not enough to match the household to the right unit, those who do meet federal income guidelines and any other restriction may not pass property owner screening, such as 2 months' worth of rent paid up front, a low credit score, or a rigid criminal background check.
We know that criminal background checks are certainly an issue, and every property owner has the right to set up their own criteria, and so a tenant may not meet the screening criteria.
Another reason why some places carry a wait list while others have vacancies, there is no standard affordable housing application that a renter can use. They must go to each complex, and each application costs a family money and time, 2 things they may not have. So when they see a vacancy, they need to be sure they'd qualify.
We try to stay especially flexible for families that are in crisis situations. You know, if a family's been homeless and we do a credit check, we expect there's going to be some marks on their record, and so we try to design criteria that are flexible.
That's a really annoying little...
Tom's sisters helped him call Foundation Communities for 8 months,
Hello?
checking on the waiting lists, trying to lower living expenses so Tom could live. A cheaper rent means more money to fight cancer.
I was paying $2,100 a month, and my Social Security was only $800, so I had a $1,300 shortfall every month.
Before Tom got this place, he blew through his savings, paying Austin's market rate.
And my money was going really fast, you know, my life savings, everything.
Foundation Communities covers utility payments and has a food bank. It leaves Tom with enough money at the end of the month to cover medical deductibles. Enough money to carry hope.
It might sound dramatic, but getting in here could have saved your life.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'd say that. It's really saved my life, definitely.
With the KVUE Defenders, I'm Erica Proffer.